All right, so how to find peace as a woman. First thing is accepting your biology. Like, more than likely, you survived childhood. Children can thrive in a healthy environment in a normal world, oftentimes, but children thriving has to do with their parents. So let's just take it to, so it's harder to. So if you're 18, 19 and you want to find peace, you're an adult, it's easier for you to thrive because you can actually make something, do, you're not dependent on other people fully. You can be a producer and create for yourself, um, especially if you have high endurance. Uh, the best thing to do is detox because all these toxins are given to young people. So detox and then work on your endurance, and that will allow you to make peace with the disturbing things in the world if you physically are fit and you have a higher level of endurance. But it's harder to do when you're older. So it's best to do it between the age 19 and 25, but you can still do it when you're older. So then after you do that, you get to a, like after you do that, say you do that in your early 20s, you get to a point where you begin to produce. And when you produce, it's a way for you to expand your consciousness. Oftentimes people are wrapped up in the what's the meaning of my life? Like I spent my early years having fun. Now I don't know what to do with my life. Or is this what I was meant to do? It doesn't like you can allow yourself to be disturbed by the fact that like there's you can't like you can be disturbed or you can just accept that all you need to do is just eat, shit, live, mate, and and die. Like that's it. Like and produce. That's all you need to do. You're great in just doing that. Like it doesn't have to be all this extra stuff. But it can how you do it can be freaking awesome. Like you can eat the best food ever, eat the best herbs ever, have euphoric experiences. I know a number of different herbs that you can take that are natural and won't destroy your body that will allow you to have like these mental like I don't know, these beautiful explorations in your mind. Teas, um, just good food, you know? So you have good quality food, you take good quality herbs, that's great. Then you can also find a partner, get your hands on a book to like expand your body, yoga, meditation, the Karma Sutra, Tantra, like these things are basically you utilizing your faculties, you making the most out of your biology. It has nothing to do with like a car or a house or a title or degree. It's just your body. And when you realize that it's really just enough, it brings you a great deal of peace. But if you want to be disturbed. I'm just here to tell you what will bring you a greater sense of peace as a woman. The next thing is like accepting your body for what it is. Like if you become pregnant and you produce, there are things that will happen that are out of your control, but it's natural. And you have to accept the fact that these natural things will occur. There are things that will occur that's out of your control because your body is still a part of this organism, this earth. And when you accept that, you surrender to it, you will have peace. Um, you do have to remove yourself from people who are disturbed or become a person where that's really detached from other people issues. But the best thing to do to find peace really is to like if there are people that are disturbed by your natural processes in your form, things that you can't help, but they're disturbed by it because they have they're disturbed people in general, like they just are disturbed, they're not at peace themselves. You have to remove yourself from those people and understand that it's them, it's not you. You don't have to um your nature is vital. Like your nature is great. Your biology is great. A lot of spiritual systems have been corrupt and people are taught that they should be ashamed of their biology and their bodily processes. And it's wrong. It's false teaching. There's no shame in having this form. The issue is what you do with it, but what happens to it naturally. It's not what you're doing with it, it's what God's done with it. You got pregnant, you have a baby, you breastfeed, you have a period, you grow old, you have thoughts, you have emotions, you have sensations. You program with all these things, but for some reason, our culture, we're taught that like it's just bad. It's not bad. It's divine. You are just like you don't have to be a president or be a straight A student. You just need to eat, detox in the bathroom, mate, produce, and die. Why has it got to be so hard? When you figure that out as a woman, when you're like, hey, just got to do that, like don't, that's life. That's it. I guess got to do that. It's, it's going to be challenging, but it is a peaceful thing when you know that's all you need to do. But when you understand the complexities of mastering that, producing proper fruit, detoxing properly, eating the proper things, growing the proper things, raising a family, when you understand the complexities that come with your natural processes, that can disturb you, but it doesn't have to if you actually are guided properly. And so, obviously, I'm not an expert here. I just follow Isha Yoga Foundation. A lot of what Sadhguru says, I do agree with. Not everything, but honestly, that was really all I needed to say. Part two of this video is going to be the things that happen that can really hinder your your peace. Like, things that happen, the body has memory, and being in and around people that are violent, that are disturbed and want to disturb you, these things will disrupt your peace. So you do have to remove yourself from those things and those people and certain traumatizing experiences. Trauma happens because society is uncomfortable with nature, okay? Like people are just uncomfortable with natural processes. Society, also people in our natural state, like especially women, we've been exploited. Like, I mean, in the West, like so much money has been made exploiting women. So people will target your peace of mind because they're programmed to like want to exploit you and violate you. But another way of finding peace is understanding that like the world you inherited is dark. You may be abused, you may be violated, and you may survive it. And you don't have to relive that every day. It may happen to you, it may disturb you, it more than likely will disturb you, and you may survive it. And when you survive it, it doesn't have to, you don't have to, everything that's, happening in your life going forward, it doesn't have to or you don't have to start things with your trauma. Like just, it happened and you just put it in the space of this happened. It's not happening anymore. Thank God I survived it. The problem is two things. Number one, people are programmed to exploit you, and people have more of a predatory nature, so they want to um, exploit your pain. If that's a good way to put it, they want to exploit your pain and re-trauma you. People are predatory. You just have to remove yourself from individuals that are like that, and you can detach. It's hard to exploit somebody's pain if they're not even connected to it anymore. You can look at someone and be like, "Oh, that's why so and so did that to you. That's, you're ruined because this happened to you, you know?" And you could just be like, "Yeah, it's not happening now. I survived it. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I'm over it." Why do you keep making a big deal of about something that happened in the past? I'm still alive, still here. I survived it. I think that makes me a very strong person. I don't really think that makes me someone that is destroyed. The reality is it doesn't. You're not destroyed, you know? But anyway, you can either remove yourself from those people or remove yourself from what they're trying to do, which is exploit your pain. Just detach from it. Yeah, that happened. That happened. It's not happening. Yeah, but it happened. Okay, it happened. Now what? And that's when you do the now what, because you know these people that are predatory, they want to hurt you. They're programmed to exploit your pain. So the now what is gonna make them flip. They're gonna be like, "What do you mean now what?" Like they're predatory people, perpetrators, evil, wicked, disturbing people. There's two ways to deal with it: get away from those people, or get away from the pain that is not happening anymore. Detach. Shit's hard at first. It can be done. It actually can be done fast. It doesn't have to be hard. It's just that you will need to be mentally tough, mental endurance. Like, it's okay to be alone, stay in your space, don't internalize what people throw at you. I mean, these are things that I wish that I knew when I was younger. It would have helped me, but I know now. I mean, I worried about irrational. I have anxiety because of um, living in the past and letting it affect now, and then time traveling to the future and future possibilities and worrying about things that haven't occurred. And then I have to be rational. Like, this isn't happening. Why am I worried about it? This is tiring. So, how to find peace? I just gave you some really good examples. And then when it comes to, I'll just go back into it. When it comes to the meaning of life when you get older and things slow down, isn't it just really down to your biology? Like, you eat, you detox, you mate, you produce, you grow things, you nurture things, and you die. Why does that have to be like, why does it have to be all this extra stuff? Like, why can't you just do that? I mean, now how you do it could be great. How you do it can be complex. You can eat some really cool, amazing things, herbs that will take your mind to like other galaxies. You can exercise, practice yoga, do these headstands, all these crazy things. You can master the Kama Sutra and like make your husband the luckiest person on the planet. Like, you can um detox in the best way possible where you feel amazing after you use the restroom. You can just take certain herbs that help you to detox and you feel great afterwards. And then you can transition out of this world in an awesome way, in a cool way. Like, how you handle it is makes all the difference. Like, I didn't say anything about a house, a Mercedes Benz, nails, eyelashes, music. Everything that I stated is what you already have, like what you came into this world with. Um, for the most part. I mean, the eating part, like, you gotta grow food, but these are things that come from the earth that are natural. You really did come into the world with it. You got it from your mom, so it's in your belly already. But that's not the point. The point I'm making is that life doesn't have to be all this extra shit. It could just be eat shit, live, mate, die. It could just be that. You decide if that's good enough. If you want to be disturbed, it's not good enough. If you want to be at peace, it's awesome. It's more than enough. That's how you find your peace. There are things that I'm like prepared, like I'm like, these things are going to disturb me. If this happened, I will allow myself to be disturbed by it. There are things that happen in a moment where I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely allowing myself to be disturbed by this because whatever the reason is. But the minute I'm like, I decide, nah, I can't be disturbed by this anymore. I want peace. is the minute I have to then deal with detaching, like detaching from it. You decide